Round 5, and the championship heads for Snetterton. The Hondas of Ray and Keogh are looking so sorted, but are the Ducati boys feeling the pressure?
Leon Camia on the bike animal Honda starts from the absolute back row of the grid after not getting a qualifying time in on Saturday. Mechanical problems kept him out of it. That's how far, that is the view he's got to come through to Shane Shaky Byrne on pole. Will Byrne be able to convert it and take his first win of the year? Byrne, 67, gets a great start, but Johnny Ray got a better one on the HM plant. Honda Ray moves straight across onto the racing line. Number 4, Johnny Ray, superb start from him and trying to force his way. Walker into third place. Walker goes third already and already pushes out the other Stobart bike of Tom Sykes. That's a great start from Chris Walker from row 2 as we look now on board with Tom Sykes. Sykes has got Keogh in front. Is that Keogh in front? Yes, it could well be. It is Keogh in front at the moment because Sykes has... I'll tell you what, Neil Mackenzie, that just goes to show you how fast that HM plant bike is. Oh, and down already. Number 28 is Neil Faulkner. So the Team Emco NSF Racing Yamaha is down on the deck. Tom Tunstall was a non-starter, I think, or he just about squeezed onto the rear end of the grid on the 21 bike. But it is Johnny Ray who leads at the moment.
That was a textbook start for Johnny Ray. Off the grid, then over to the left-hand side of the track for the perfect line into turn 1, Ritchie's.
Down now towards Russell's. 4 is Ray from 91. Leon Haslam from number 1. That's Kianari, the defending champion. I'll tell you what, that start from... Oh, no, there's a Hydrex Honda just come across the concrete work there. I don't know whether it was Carl Harris, but I was about to sing the praises of Chris the Racer Walker because really just hasn't looked like he's been on it that well. I know he qualified in 8th place in the end, but really they're having to turn themselves inside out to get those Rizzo Suzukis where they want.
Amazing start for Chris Walker from the second row, but Shane Byrne really kind of getting held up behind Chris now. Chris, there's already a gap between Kianari and Chris Walker, 3rd to 4th position, and Shane Byrne, he's right behind Chris Walker. On board with Gregorio Lavia now, looking at the rear end of a Stobart Honda. That's looking back now from Tom Sykes into the face of Lavia. So Lavia on the bike 36. At the front here, there we've got a nice little 4-way battle going on. Johnny Ray versus Leon Haslam versus Ryoichi Kianari versus Shane, the pole sitter Byrne, that's in 4th place at the moment. That's your front 4, and I'll tell you what, with 22 laps to go, well, 22 laps as a race distance, this race will not sort itself out till the last half dozen. Jonathan Ray really got things sorted out this weekend. Out goes Byrne. Is that Byrne who's just broken down? It's gone pop. The Stobart Vent Axia Honda has stopped on Shane Byrne. What a disaster. 67 Shane Byrne on the Revit straight. What can have gone wrong with that bike? Whatever it is, it's terminal. No smoke there, but he obviously knew straight away that that bike had stopped. Either the engine quit or the gearbox quit, but he's in trouble. I'll tell you what, the bike might not be terminal, but I've got to say, Stuart Bland and the rest of the team in the garage, Phil Borley, of course, will still be running, so obviously. Sick. Yeah, it seems to be running okay. Good drive from Keogh. This time he's underneath Jonathan Ray. Side by side, the 2 HM plant Hondas in a drag race into the braking area. Jonathan Ray, the younger, certainly is the quicker when it comes to the braking point. And really, that was a bit of a lesson for Keogh there, just what his teammate is prepared to do when it comes to the brakes. Look at him, chucking it into Sears corner now, onto the Revit straight, just dropping Kianari in those 2 braking points almost easily. Certainly is, and at this time of the season, obviously no team orders for the front 2 guys, Jonathan Ray and Ryuichi Kianari, both side by side. And Jonathan Ray, we know how strong he's been at the end of the races. He just missed out in the starts, but he's got the start this time, so let's see what he can do all the way to the end. Marty Nutt, the best of the privateers in the Superbike Cups category on the nuttravel.com Yamaha. He leads at the moment. Oh, dear me, that's a long Dean way Thomas. Off. He's gone right out into the carrot field at the end of Rich's corner, I would imagine. Rich's corner, you've got all that field you can drive across, so he's gone farming, he has, the Australian. Out front, though, Ryoichi Kianari from Jonathan Ray. So Kianari out front, Jonathan Ray in 2nd place now. Haslam is still 3rd. And losing ground to the 2 to the 2 HM Plant Hondas. Wishful thinking for Airways Ducati there. He is losing ground, but Jonathan Ray closing in there on his teammate Ryoichi Kianari, and we know Jonathan Ray is quite happily have a stab at him in the closing laps, and Leon Haslam might just be there to pick up the pieces.
Well,
Johnny Ray did a 1:04.999. It is an emergency because Johnny Ray's right on the case still. That's a fantastic time at this stage in the race. His personal best on the last lap.
It really is. Ryuichi Kianari still on the move as he's turning into corners. Back marker on coming inside here. They might just get him nicely on the back straight.
Hudson Kenner under observation for a possible technical problem. So the race stewards have got Hudson Kenner on the Virgin Media Optima Malone's Yamaha, the twin to Tommy Hill's machine, under observation. Oh, what we got here? Major problem. That was an airway Ducati.
That was Haslam.
So an airway Ducati out in the grass somewhere here at Rich's corner. Where's he gone? To the left. He must have gone straight off the circuit and into the field.
Is it one or two? Lavia and Haslam, I reckon.
No, there is.
No, it's Lavia.
No. It's Lavia that's gone off. That's
and
Haslam.
Lavia just stuck in another fastest lap as well.
So there's Haslam. It must have been Lavia at Sears corner. Where he's gone, our camera I don't think could turn right the way round into the field.
Well, maybe Lavia was just pushing a little bit too hard. Obviously, unusual for him to make a mistake.
There's Colin. So Colin Wright trying to find out what's happening. And nobody knows, because if we don't give them the pictures, they don't see them.
He can't have gone that far that we can't zoom in on him.
Well, I can't believe it's this corner, though, the approach to Richie's corner, turning into the right-hander here. I think he just went right off the track, down the grass, and he's obviously rejoined. So we'll have to take a look for where he is. This is Sears.
Yeah, it's a real front end and rear end corner there, maximum angle, mid corner. There he is behind Camille.
So he must have run down the old grass and rejoined the race at Sears. So Lavia looking to pick up a place from Camille. Leon Camille is going to get a shock when he sees Lavia alongside him, because he won't know that. Well, he will have done it. He'd have seen him trying to rejoin the track. So Lavia is in 6th place. Camille is up to 5th. The man in front of Lavia. Tell you what, this place, Snetterton, is really Gregorio Lavia's nemesis, isn't it? Let's take a look at it now. This is Lavia. We're on board with him then as he tips into Rich's corner. Oh, dear me. That was running out wide, wasn't it? He just took it down the grass, so he just found himself with a little bit too much corner speed. Had to bail out to the long grass. God, he was a long way off the racetrack. Dear me, no wonder we couldn't find him when we were looking for him.
Thankfully, it's nice and dry, and a bit of grip there as that Tom Sykes flying past.
I don't know whether that was Tom Sykes, actually. We'll be keeping you up to date on what happens. There's Tom Tunstall. Now, Tom Tunstall had a major problem out on the racetrack earlier on, and Tom Tunstall has obviously got it going and started from the back of the grid almost alongside number 2, Leon Camille.
Jonathan Ray's just put in his fastest lap of the race, so it looks like he's got something left.
Well, I think Johnny Ray's going to go for the win. 1:04.959. He's done a 4:999. I'll tell you what, he's really, really consistent, Jonathan Ray. But
Keogh's lap time there was 1:04.961, so only really a tenth in it.
Here we go. Lap 22, the final lap. Kianari. So far, there's only been Gregorio Lavia and Ryuichi Kianari that's won races this year. We have heard the Japanese national anthem. We've heard the Spanish national anthem. Jonathan Ray wants to make it the British national anthem today. But I've got to say, with the way Keogh is, he looks smooth. He looks like a real weapon out there. His bike's not moving around. He's made that HM Plant Honda look so smooth. As we come down Revitz now towards the Asses, this would have been a passing opportunity had Jonathan Ray been close enough. He's not. Here comes Lavia looking for a way past the 5th place Camille. Well, just a question of whether Lavia wants to risk grabbing a couple of points.
He's not going to do it in slipstream there. He's going to get through the S's here, maybe into the last chicane. He's going to try and set himself up. Not going to do it into the bottom wall. He's got one last chance. Get round Camille either inside or outside at Coram, and then maybe do a block pass into the final chicane.
Marty Nutt still leads the Superbike Cup section of this race from James Buckingham, but over the line it is Ryuichi Kianari that takes a checkered flag for the 4th time this year to equal the 4 wins of Gregorio Lavia. Johnny Ray gets 2nd place, 3rd has gone through, that's Haslam, and then coming to the line, it's going to be Sykes has gone through, Camille is next, then Lavia. So Lavia, in the end, finishing only on 6th place after that massive grass tracking. It is once again Shane Byrne that will come to pole position. Because of the qualification maxima, it means that Leon Camille will still have to start from the back row of the grid. Even though he didn't qualify, he will start from the back row of the grid. He's been given special dispensation, as he was in race 1 today. but he may be joined by Cal Crutchlow, who has an electrical fault on his Rizzler Suzuki as well. So back row of the grid, there's number 2, Kamiya. He will be on the back row. And there, 35 to the left of your picture, is Cal Crutchlow on the other Rizzler Suzuki. So Kamiya and Crutchlow, 2 of the young guns in the Superbike class, will start stone last. They will have to. So leaves a bit more room up front, I suppose, at the moment. Is it going to be Shane Byrne's luck this time? He had an electrical fault in race 1 that took him out of it. He's on pole, gets a good launch. So does Johnny Ray again. Neil Mackenzie's alongside me. This is going to be a storm in 22 laps.
That itch implant Honda of Jonathan Ray got off the line there, and Ryuichi Kinari lost out quite a bit there, but Shaky Byrne, he reacted.
Oh, that's a Hydrex Honda going to the
Carl
field.
Harris.
Well, it's difficult to pull the things down on the grass. You can't stop. It's not meant to be a tractor, even though he's built like a farmer. Down the rivet straight then as we come to the end. Don't smile at me like that. Into the S's. Number 4, Johnny Ray. Followed by a Stobart Honda, but it's Haslam underneath it. Haslam goes into second place on the 91 bike. Shane Byrne shoved out into third place now on the Stobart Vent Axia. Oh, big off there, Tommy Hill. That looked like Tommy Hill to me.
Tommy Hill.
No, it's the Gentin
Simon
bike.
Andrews.
It is Simon Andrews, and Simon Andrews had such a good weekend on the Lloyd's British-sponsored Gentin machine. So Simon Andrews has been riding so well here. Well, it looked like he got tripped up by one of the bridewheels on the MB bike.
Yeah, unfortunately there for Simon Andrews on that. It is a red R1 Yamaha like the Virgin Media bikes, but Simon Andrews getting really unlucky. Perfectly okay, but his race is all over.
That's a shame, because the young man's been riding so well for Gentin. Bernie Tolwan's team then looking for the next round, which will be Mondello Park, of course, as we're on board now, looking at the rear end of the Rizzler Suzuki. The knee slider, toe slider of Chris the Stalker Walker being stalked right now by Gregorio Lavia, the leading Spaniard in the BSB series. Christian Palmer, the man you saw fall off on the very last bend in the Superbike Cup part of this race in race 1, is now under investigation for well, it looks like he's got a technical fault coming his way. Black and orange flag for him as we look the slipstream city of the Revit straight down towards the S's, and it's still Jonathan Ray from Leon Haslam on the Airwave Ducati, from the Stobart Vent Axia Honda of Shane Byrne. Then it's Ryuichi Kinari, and then again it's Tom Sykes putting in another great ride on the Superbike. Coming up to this class from Supersports last year, Tom Sykes probably the least publicised of the top Supersports guys to come up into Superbike. Kamiya and Ray getting all the accolades, I think, beforehand.
What an amazing solid season he's put together. Tom Sykes, real find of 2007, and a smart signing by Paul Bird, of the owner of Stobart Vent Axia Honda team.
The old clouds just mounting over Snetterton here at the moment. Few spots of rain, just a tiny little bit of rain felt on our skins as we walk back into the commentary position, and really we're hoping that we don't get any more of that as Kinari lines up the Ducati. Now, Leon Haslam was complaining about the Ducati not being quite fast enough. I've got to say, Neil, and I don't want to cause any controversy here, but that didn't look that slack to me up the hill.
Well, and on the back straight on the last lap, it certainly punches out of this corner, out of Sears. If we can get an aerial shot, this is actually Lavia's Ducati, managed to get past.
Oh, Gregorio Lavia's going slow, he's going slow. Lavia has got a problem. So Gregorio Lavia, the series leader, is pulling off of the track on lap 6 of 22. Well, this track really is a disaster for Gregorio Lavia and Airways Ducati. This was the point where his championship was lost last year. Colin Wright, team manager, and that is Gregorio Lavia, absolutely distraught, I would suggest, out of this race, shakes his head from side to side. Don't look at my camera. He's had it. Oh, Haslam goes through. Oh, the front end of Ryuichi Kinari is tagged by Haslam as he moves back on Kinari. Deary me, can anything happen much quicker than a British Superbikes race?
Leon Haslam's a brave man, he doesn't care. He's got no respect for number 1, Ryuichi Kinari. Shane Byrne there, still in 4th position. He nearly capitalised out of that move. But look at Tom Sykes, number 66, closing in on teammate. He's in 5th position, but he's closer to the top 4.
Won't be lost on Honda. In the top 5 positions are 4 Hondas.
Yeah, certainly. Jonathan Ray, look at the gap he's got now. Over a second he's got at the front.
Could Jonathan Ray be on for his first ever Superbike win?
I'd like to see that.
So
that would be a
I.
popular win.
Oh,
some
gone
dust.
Down there?
Someone's gone
Big
wide.
Time down there. Well, we've got Johnny Ray, and we've got Kinari, we've got Haslam, and we've got the 2 Stobart guys. Who was behind then? Tommy Hill was in 6th place.
Tommy Hill's in the picture. I could see Tommy Hill in the background. So after him, it was Walker and Kamiya and Bridewell.
Might have been just somebody dropping their wheel in the dirt, you know, and spinning up a load of dirt, making our camera look like someone had gone off. So
we are very excitable, aren't we? Doesn't take much. It it really is just incredible how much bad luck Lavia has at this Snetterton circuit. This is where his championship actually all went to pieces last year.
We're on half distance. It's 11 of 22. A lot of pressure on Leon Haslam at the moment, but really the HM Plant Hondas are building their lead. And look at this from Chianari up the inside of Jonathan Ray. And Johnny Ray didn't let him have that. That was a situation where perfect drive onto the Revit straight, accumulated horsepower, accumulated mile an hour by the time they got to the end of it. And there is a very proud Neil Tuxworth, team manager. That's an arty shot, isn't it?
Very impressive.
Number one. Chianari hits the front and synchronised drifting through Coram Curve and then backing it into the Russell chicane. Really, for the aficionados of motorcycle racing, it is just a pleasure to watch. Oh, Michael Rutter down. That is Michael Rutter and the Isilon MSS Discovery Kawasaki on fire. Well, Nick Morgan, the team owner, will be unhappy with that. He's not having a good week anyway. So Michael Rutter, what's he done here? Oh, high side. Coming out of the Russell chicane. I'll tell you what, it's a bit of a beating Michael's taken there. The bike's on fire. And looks like a bit of an oil fire rather than a petrol fire. So that should go out fairly quickly. Michael looks to his left somewhat disconsolately and doesn't bother picking the bike up. Well, we are going to be in a safety car period here at the moment because whenever there's been a fire with a bit of oil down on the track, they will slow these guys up. And with that, oh dear me, that's not a place to be stood with a motorcycle.
Not at all.
Well, there's Gregorio Lavia. And what does that face say to you, Neil?
That says, I wonder if I can still pull this championship win off.
There goes the car and out. Oh, look at that. Beautiful launch from Ryoichi Chianari. Keep an eye on the yellow bike animal bike, the number 2 machine of Kamiya. Will he be able to get up on Tom Sykes straight away? Well, nobody taking any advantage, but they, whoa, that's what I'm talking about. Cold tyres, they will have cooled down a little bit, taken a bit of heat out of them. They will be spinning. Oh, hold your breath, Neil.
Yeah, Shane Byrne a little bit wide there coming onto the back straight, just trying to get in the slipstream of Jonathan Ray, but as you said, Ryoichi Chianari played that perfectly. But
The end
Jonathan
of this straight, though, is the problem. This left-hander at the end here, they won't have a lot of heat in the front of that tyre on the left-hand side. Got to be so careful here. How fast do you go? That fast. Chianari and Ray have gone through perfectly. 67, Shane Byrne in with a chance of his first win for some time in Superbikes. Leon Haslam, what can he do from 4th place? 5th place, Tom Sykes, 6th place, Leon Kamiya. Oh, beautiful stuff.
Chianari 1 minute 4.9, Jonathan Ray 1 minute 4.8, Shaky Byrne 1 minute 5.0.
Back on with Tom Sykes, that's Haslam in his sights, but of course in Kamiya's sights is the man that's carrying our camera at the moment.
Leon Haslam would be a good scalp for Tom Sykes on the last lap.
Tell you what, Stobart Honda's got it. Stobart Honda is going to be down the brakes at the end. Stobart Honda goes past into the braking area. Can Haslam come back? No, he can't. Tom Sykes pulls it down and makes it a perfect S's. Wow, that was just fantastically smart from Tom Sykes. 4th place for Tom Sykes. Well, 4 Hondas in the top 4 positions. Couldn't go much better for Neil Tuxworth and Harvey Beltram. If they could get Kamiya, if Kamiya can get up there as well in front of Haslam, I think Honda would be having a party for a week.
Free beer at Honda. What a thought.
Well, I've had it before. It's been a while ago, but they used to buy the beer. Final lap it was, and Chianari took the win while we reminisce over beer. Chianari's just about to start his celebrations across the line. Chianari from Ray, from Byrne, from Sykes. Haslam, Kamiya, Hill gets 7th place. Scott Smart gets 8th place in front of Chris Walker, 9th. Ollie Bridewell, I think that is, gets 10th place in the end. So I think it's Ollie Bridewell on the 46 bike. It is that comes through on the MB Suzuki for 10th place. Take a look at that then. And Gregorio Lavia, well, you'll have to look the other way if it's up on his screen right now. He now drops to 2nd place. Chianari takes over at Snetterton. The championship is going the defending champions' way. Jonathan Ray in 3rd place. Haslam 4th. Kamiya 5th. Sykes 6th. Shane Byrne 7th. And Chris Walker 8th. But they're all losing touch with the leaders. Tommy Hill on a respectable 70, but not where he expected to be. Michael Rutter, burnout he may have had by the trackside, still on 50. Carl Harris in 11th place. Crutchlow, Bridewell, Tommy, Scott Smart, Ollie Bridewell, and Simon Andrews round out our top 16.